Hey everybody, Adam here, and back with a little more Pauper. Like it says in the tin, we're here to play some elves tonight. Not that I think that the ban will have any effect on elves in particular, but I did want to give this deck a run. I always kind of love this deck. It's neat. It's not exactly like something I'm known for or something I've played a ton of, but I always think it's pretty sweet. This deck in particular feels like one of the more busted decks in the format, in big part because of Priest of Titania. If you're not familiar, Priest of Titania is a 2-mana 1/1 that taps to add a green for each elf on the battlefield. Not you control, on the battlefield. So, if your opponent casually has a Quirion Ranger because they're playing Green Stompy, or what have you, all of a sudden your elves get bigger. Or your priest gets bigger. Clarify. Getting bigger, however, is Elvish Vanguard's job. So Elvish Vanguard, whenever another elf enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. 2-mana 1/1. The rest of the deck looks kind of like you'd expect. There's a bunch of mana dorks. Timberwatch Elf, pretty cute. Target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. Again, these effects are symmetrical, so it's counting every elf. So this means you swing a bunch of attackers into your opponent, let them figure out blocks, Timberwatch, activate, murk them for a bunch of damage. Lissalon, a Huntmaster here. Whenever you cast an elf, make a 1/1. It is also an elf. Big deal there. Finally, we have some card advantage through Lead the Stampede and Distant Melody. Lead the Stampede, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal any number of creatures, put them into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah. And then Distant Melody, 3 and a blue, sorcery. Choose a creature type. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. So, maybe we name something like, I don't know, Elf, and just draw a whole fistful of cards and, go nuts. Finally, the one weird card here that some people might be curious about, this is Valakut Invoker. So it is a 3-mana 2/3. It is the only non-elf in the deck. And what Valakut Invoker does is allows you to pay 8 to deal 3 damage. Why would you pay 8 to deal 3 damage? Well, say your opponent is, I don't know, Tron, and they've assembled this lock with Flicker effects and Stonehorn Dignitary. So then what you do is you just generate an idiotic amount of mana, and then Valakut Invoker them to death. Furthermore, if your opponent has, a big gummed up board state and you can't really attack, you just generate a bunch of mana and kill them around it. Same thing, there's this Harsh Sustenance in the sideboard. For some reason, you can't kill your opponent through the combat step. Throw them out. Other sideboard notables, Scatter Shot Archer deals damage to creatures with flying. Viridian Longbow turns all your stuff into pingers. Then you've got 5 Blue Blast effects. This is noting things like Affinity. This is going to deal with things like Fiery Cannonade, which is a sweeper that you'll often see in Affinity. You're also going to deal with Electrickery, like this. Furthermore, Wrap in Vigor allows you to beat sweeper effects. You can just Wrap in Vigor in response, regenerate all your stuff, you're okay. Nature's Claim, this is going to be to deal with problematic artifacts or enchantments that might be a problem. For example, if our opponent has a Circle of Protection green, might be a little difficult. Gleeful Sabotage, 2 mana, destroy an artifact or enchantment, Conspire. So this is going to let us nuke a couple artifacts from something like Affinity. Natural State, again, destroying artifacts and enchantments. It's like Affinity's good or something. And then Well-Wisher, this is just another way to gain some more life. So if we get grindy board states, we can just gain life and our opponent can figure it out, I guess. So that's where we're at, and without further ado, let's dive our way into a league and see what happens. Yes, Travis, Atog, Prophetic Prism, and Bonder's Ornament all got the axe today, and multiple format announcements coming Tuesday. It is fairly exciting. In regards to today's bans, the only thing I don't particularly understand, this looks like gas. The only thing I don't particularly understand myself is, oh, okay, I can probably turn that off. The only thing from today's bans I don't particularly, fully do the thing are, I don't really know that I'm on board with Prism. Prism is a weird one. I'm gonna always yield to that. Yeah, I'm very ready for some unbans. I think that that is the way to go, if I'm being perfectly honest. Ooh. Green. Green priest. Yeah, like, I think that there's a lot of stuff worth looking at. I'm very curious to see what happens. Cast as Priest of Titania. Play this one. 2, 3, 4. Opponents already had enough. Sick. Alright. Okay. I like Scattershot Archer here. Well-Wisher's like pretty reasonable. Longbow also pretty good. I don't particularly think we need this Valakut Invoker. So I'm not sure, Travis. Like, I voiced some things that I think are reasonable in one of the Discords I'm in, but I'm not 100% sure, like, what their plan is. Maybe I don't need Well-Wisher. I already have 2, so that's probably fine. Melody might be the hardest of these to deal with. But I think Melody's also, like, the most busted. Priest. Oh, I don't need this Gleeful Sabotage. What are you doing in my main deck? Cool. Accidentally clicked Gleeful Sabotage. Cool. Yeah, this seems pretty reasonable. I'm gonna just submit like this. I think there are a lot of things they could do. I don't know what they're going to do. This seems like gas. I'm into this. Keep. Fairy Sphere is fine. Don't particularly care about that. Forest, Findhorn Elf, go. Yeah, I will hold off on speculating too much because I think that there are a lot of things they could do. I don't know exactly what they will do. Korean Ranger. Okay. Priest. Oh, like, Travis, I actually love Pauper. Like, the format's very, very good. And I think that now that they're carefully looking at things, I think it's a great place to, like, start to explore other ideas. I really wish you had put in a ninja there. Cast Korean Ranger? Cast Jaspara Sentinel? You tell me when we're stopping, opponent. Okay. Alright. Going to Vanguard, Priest of Titania, Findhorn Elf, like, the format's very, very good. That's fine. I have no blocks. This is a ninja, sure. Opponent. Opponent, you sweet summer child. Alright, Timberwatch Elf? Okay, good. Good. Opponent has had enough. I'm in. Yeah, but no, Travis, the format's very good. Like, there's actually a lot going on. Like, when the metagame isn't in a really awkward state, like it has been because of Affinity, there's a lot of play to this format. So on the channel already, I've played one of the least interactive decks in the format, being Bogles. Just make a big dumb idiot smash. I've played one of the more interactive decks in the format through Monarch or Boros Bully. You're just like a mid-range good stuff pile, and that deck's very, very good. And now this is... I wouldn't say Elves is necessarily a hard combo deck, but like you're pretty close. Sure? His hand's like not excellent. Okay. This might be an Elves mirror, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, no, this is Stompy. Okay. I mean, this is actively better for me. Okay. I'm willing to trade that off. Like, that seems fine. Oh, the Scred deck is, like, very good. I've played Scred at various points. I'm a bigger fan of blue-black, honestly. It just lines up more the way I think a lot of people want it to. Your removal is better. Yeah. How many Rancors you got? Show them to me. You got it. Oh, why would you not play that pre... Okay. Well, sure. Elf, priest. Elf. This one, this one. This one. Like, I'm gonna take a little damage here, but this Well-Wisher is gonna do a lot of work. I'm not even bothered. Like, this is fine. If I'm not dead, I'm not dead. Kicked vines, sure. Take 10. Okay. So I guess step 1, I know I want this Well-Wisher in play. Play Priest of Titania. Play Jaspara Sentinel. I think I will untap bounce here. Okay. I don't think I need this. I do want this Career Ninja Allied. Now I'm taking 4. I'm losing my stuff regardless. It's what do I think opponent has? If they 10 right now, I'm taking 8. That's lethal. I don't think I can soak up enough damage reliably. I'll put it here, show me the pump spell. One, two. Yeah, hunger. Got it. Okay. So this is where Well-Wisher's great. Longbow's good. Harsh Sustenance also not terrible. Valakut Invoker is like kind of reasonable just as a 2/3, but I don't think that I'm worried about that kind of nonsense. I think I can cut a Distant Melody. Question is, do I want to try to board in this Harsh Sustenance because the life gain is good? Probably not. Probably not. I want to try to get a Well-Wisher online pretty quick. That's about, I think, the full stop, the way this game works. Activate Well-Wisher, activate Well-Wisher, activate Well-Wisher. Keep. Cast, please. Thank you. Having 3 card advantage spells in my hand is like kind of clunky, but I think it is what it is. That's gas. I'm not interested in trading for this Vault Scourge right now. I will. I promise I'm not blocking. Pit Skull, yep. Longbow, yes. Okay. What is the plan here? They're gonna try to use Longbow to answer this Well-Wisher. Oh, they can't even equip that Longbow yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, sure. You get an idiot. Yes. I present to you 3/3. You got it. Okay. Sure. 5, 6, 7. Another longbow. Gross. Alright. Cast Birchlow Ranger. Yes, please. Green Ranger, Jaspara Sentinel. Any order. Play Jaspara Sentinel. Always yes, please. Activate Birchlow Ranger, make green. Play Aquarian Ranger. Untap this, bounce this, play this. And then do nothing. Reasonable. One. Yeah, do nothing. That's gross. Thanks, I hate it. Okay. Sure. Equip longbow. Untap a token, bounce a forest. Right. You have that whole can't be blocked thing. Alright. I kind of need something busted here. I think the answer is just to play this land, Distant Melody. Aim Elf. Well, my longbow's a little late. Untap this, return this. One, two. Spara Sentinel. I'm likely dead here. I'm trying to decide if it matters if I put this priest into play or not. I don't think it does. Because I can't block that. Oh, they're just going to dome me. Okay. Discard one of these lands that I don't need. Oh yeah, I'm dead. Sure thing. Yes. Well played. Womp womp. Yeah, I didn't think about Stompy having Longbow. That's on me. I should have boarded in answers to Longbow, and I did not. Having access to Natural State or Rapid Vigor, actually Rapid Vigor there would have been pretty gas. Rapid Vigor would have created some pretty serious blowouts. Yeah, now that I think about that, there were ways to maneuver around that I didn't even think about. Again, have not played a ton of Pauper Elves. I've played very, very little, and this was many, many moons ago. So, I am by no means an expert on the deck. I just think it's neat and wanted to play it today. Also, to clarify, I'm also playing a list from the 7th, the challenge on the 7th. I chose this list specifically because it was playing copies of Nettle Sentinel, and I think the card is very, very good. So, because I wanted to play Nettle Sentinel and playing a slightly older list that's not playing some of the same tech, I will play first, yes. Dork, lead. This is a weird one. I think I'm gonna mull that. This is much better. Ship one of the Sentinels. Done. Let the cat out of the bag immediately. Play Jaspara Sentinel. Play this. Play Nettle Sentinel. Tap for green. Cast Priest of Titania. Yes, please. Opponent is brainstorming. Sure. So one big thing to note, for anybody who's coming to Pauper through the lens of Legacy, these weird end-of-turn improper, like, unclean brainstorms are pretty common. The ways to clear your brainstorms in the format are fewer and worse. Yeah, that's happening. I'm, like, not happy about it, but it's happening. Alright, so... Opponent has left up a blue, but I think I'm just gonna... No, I think I want the... I'm just gonna go to combat here. No attack. Take these while I can. I will untap Nettle Sentinel. Play my Timberwatch. Opponent unclear how they feel about this Timberwatch elf. Game plan is to try to find us a draw 3 or better next turn off of this Distant Melody. Preordain's fine. Opponent looking for more removal. Bolts, Timberwatch, Elf. Sure thing. I will once again declare attacks. We're going to be in a similar boat here. Opponent keeps leaving up 1 blue, so I'm like a little hesitant of something like Spell Pierce. So I keep watching. Like, I'm hoping to try to catch them down, but I don't think I'm going to get myself in that position. This Well-Wisher is going to be very good. Fairy Seer. Sure, sure, sure. Preordain. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. Birch Thor. Cast. I will still untap this card. Ooh. That does create problems. I messed this up. Yeah, not having... I leveraged that wrong. I was probably just supposed to fire off this Distant Melody. The greedy control player in me just keeps trying to draw more cards with this Distant Melody than I think I'm supposed to. Sure. Opponent declares attacks. I very clearly have no blocks. This is a ninja? This is not a ninja. I will gain 3. Okay. It's like mildly problematic, but only a little bit. Opponent, we're back on you. Good time. Yikes, that seems right. Eventually we'll draw our way out of this. Opponent has spent a lot of removal in very early stages of the game. I will once again activate this Well-Wisher. Womp womp. We will continue the holding pattern. I mean, the good news is that, like, I'm not really in any position to have to move. We're gonna run this right into it. Show me your secrets, opponent. Yes, please. Now I get to attack, and I'm going plus life. Opponent is done. Cool. Alright, so again, fairies, I want bow, archer. Blue blasts are reasonable, but not 100% necessary. Invoker is not necessary. I guess some amount of blue blast is good. Maybe I'm just not worried about their stuff. Archers are great. I can probably shave at least one Lissel on a Huntmaster. Probably two, I guess. I'm gonna shave Timber Watches instead. I don't think one creature is gonna be what makes or breaks this. I think it's gonna be an army. Shave a couple of Timber Watch. I'm adding more blue cards. Maybe, hold on. I'm just gonna board in Rapid Vigor instead. And then Well-Wisher, I think. Treat them like an aggro deck and use things like Distant Melody and Lead the Stampede to fight the control half. I think I like that well enough. And then Scattershot Archer to keep their fairies clear. This seems reasonable. I like it. I was thinking about Blue Blast to beat things like Electrickery and Fiery Cannonade, but I think that's unnecessary. I think that's what Rapid Vigor is for. Alright. This is super reasonable. Okay. I don't have a way to cast this Distant Melody yet, but I'm not super worried about that. Solved my problems. That's the good one. Ooh, and their red source is a tap land. Let's go. And we found the Rapid Vigor. Come on. How good is our life right now? Nettle Sentinel. Elvish Mystic. I want it. Always yes. Yes, please. On tap. And the kind of the beauty of it right now is that Electrickery is not devastating. Okay. Brainstorm, sure. Blue source. What do you got? Okay. One, two, three, four. That seems like gas. We're just gonna do that. Lissel on a Huntmaster. Okay. Opponent has counterspell, okay. Cast my elf. Cycle Ash Barrens, sure. Yep. Opponent looking for more red mana. Can't say that I'm surprised. Seer attacks, no land drop. Okay. What are we playing at here? Is this Mountain Cannonade? Yup. Gross. Well-wisher. Go. Yep. Preordain. You got it, opponent. Do your thing. I have no reason to make a game action. Opponent once again preordaining. That is kind of the beauty of it, is every time they go digging for something, it takes away from their ability to interact to what I want to do. And I think my inevitability engine is better. Fairy Seer, sure. Activate. Wrap and Vigor. Spell Stutter Sprite? Smells like Spell Stutter Sprite. Oh, just actual counterspell, okay. Opponent's trying to play clever here by trying to pump in their removal during my activations. This is the ninja, okay. That's bad. That means they're gonna start getting extra cards. But I know one of the cards in their hand is Fairy Seer. And it feels like I still feel like opponent has Spell Stutter Sprite. I feel like that pause last turn was to decide whether or not they were spell stuttering that or counterspelling. And if that is the case, if I can sneak in this Timberwatch Elf for golden. Which of course I can't. Oh, I forgot to activate. Womp womp. If I lose this game by 1 life now, like, that's gonna matter. Second ninja? Second ninja. Gross. Second ninja so bad. Opponent drawing 3 cards a turn is big game. Okay. I keep forgetting to activate. I'm gonna get buried here so bad. Remember, activate Well-Wisher and end step. I'm like super gonna die now because of that. Activate. Okay. Yeah, that's still a... Okay. That's so weird, but alright. What is an opponent's hand? They've double scredded in a really weird time. Oh, cantrips. Okay. Or lands, I guess? Maybe they're flooding out. It's just really strange that they didn't, like, interact with this Nettle Sentinel in any way, shape, or form. You willing to trade a ninja for this? You are willing to trade a ninja for this. You got it. Gross. This Well-Wisher maybe buys me a turn. Yeah, I'm pretty toast. Go to sideboards. Now, again, do I want these blue blasts or anything of the sort? Maybe not. I think I want another Huntmaster. I think Timberwatch is like actively worse. Yeah. I'd rather have something that builds a board state out of very little than something that requires a board state to, like, do a thing. I would love to play first. Ugh. Keep. Nettle Sentinel. Mountain. Yep, sure. Burslow Ranger. Korean Ranger? Opponent? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna wait until post-combat. I'm gonna attack first. Then I will bounce my forest and untap Nettle Sentinel to play this Scattershot Archer. Augur to Bolus, sure. Shows me counterspell, reasonable. Okay. So now this is this, bounce this, Replay this. Oh, that's really poor sequencing, actually. As far as, okay. Oh. I'm just really bad. That's what this is. I'm just really, really bad. I'm not able to attack. I wasn't able to do the thing that I thought I was able to do. My thought process was that Jespara's Sentinel functions like Birchlow Ranger, and it doesn't. My brain keeps thinking this is just extra Birchlow Rangers. It is not. It has Summoning Sickness. That's very relevant. I think next turn we still get to do a whole lot of garbage. Tap land, sure. We got a bolt. Scred, Jespara, Sentinel. Sure. I'm going to attack here. I'll make opponent call me on it. Opponent's not interested. Untap, bounce. Replay. Priest of Titania. So, basic land cycling, sure. They're gonna go get another blue source, I think. Yep. Cannonade, sure. Reasonable. Seems real good for me. Yep. I will not block. Promise, promise, promise. Ninja. Got it. I know opponent still has a counterspell they haven't bothered to cast. See how far ahead they think they are. If they're that far, they think they're that far ahead. Okay. So I'm gonna say, if opponent thinks they're that far ahead, they may recast the Augur Bolus. Land, sure. Okay. One drop does wonders. Quirion Ranger specifically is like kind of gas right now. That ain't it. I'm probably dead. Opponent has a lightning bolt they just showed me off their Augur Bolus. We will of course not block. We need this thing to survive. We're going to take damage, which is awful, and we hit it. Yikes. I think that if I draw a land next turn, I think I'm okay. Because I'll just slam Elvish Vanguard, opponent will almost assuredly counter it. I don't know how this is still in play, I'm gonna be honest. Counterspell. Spell stutter. Okay, sure enough. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have double bolt opponent? We're drawing for it. I know you have one. Yikes. Womp womp. Yeah, that was drawing way too many spells and not enough lands. Which, I mean, the land count in this deck is low. You're at like 14 lands, but we also drew like all of the back half of the deck at that point. When the deck has like a whole pile of 1-drops. So that seems statistically unlikely, but also unfortunate, and it happened. I will play first. I will keep this. I am prepared to get punished for keeping this. Gonna play Jaspera Sentinel here because it is the one that has Summoning Sickness. Whereas this Birchlow Ranger can do its thing, like, immediately. Mountain. Goblin Cohort. Yes. Cast Birchlow Ranger. So opponent might be actual factual goblins, which is kind of a rarity these days. Seen 15 days ago on Mono Red Aggro. I have a sneaking suspicion if somebody clicks that link, they'll find out opponent is on goblins. Confirmed. Goblins. Foundry Street Denizen. Mog Conscripts. Yes. Deal. Priest of Titania. That's the one that's going to let us go places. One, two, three, four. That. A land here would be incredible. Yeah. Powerful. Mudbrawler Cohort. Yup. Gonna take a bunch of damage and be upset about it. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take half my life. This is unfortunate. Yikes. Whistle on a Huntmaster. Two, 4, 6, 8, 9. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. This Foundry Street Denizen kind of encourages them to cast a bunch of them. That's unfortunate. That makes math real bad for me. Cat. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to lose basically my entire board state. At which point I then go to 1. Yeah, that's pretty well lost. Let's try this again. Well-Wisher. Blue Blast. Get in. Valak Invoker. Goodbye. Distant melodies seem questionable. Lead the Stampede, also a little questionable. Actually... Huh. I can cut a Timberwatch Elf for a Rapid Vigor. Don't hate that. I like this well enough. Keep. This plays a bunch of stuff. I have thoughts about how I would play this, how I would change this list that involve copies of Spider Silk Armor. Opponent deciding if they want to bolt the dork or not. Cat. Ooh. Essence Ward. Nettle Sentinel? Sure. Tower Fire of the Ward. Got it, got it, got it. Green. This one. Another Sentinel. That Essence Warden would have been Hot Fire, an opponent knows it, and that's why it got Tower Fired immediately. Ooh, opponent doesn't have another land drop. That feels good for me. Easy money attacks. Okay. You got it. Log Fanatic, sure thing. Cassis lead the Stampede. Any order. Land drop. 1, 2. Cast Birchlow Rangers. Cast Elvish Mystic. Go to combat and attack for 2. One, two. Uh-oh, opponent. Uh-oh. I will continue to attack with these 1/2s. Goodbye. Second, Mog Fanatic. Seems decent. Lead? Wow. That was pretty atrocious. Make token. Combat. Magic online, please. Declare attacks. Ooh, opponent has a second land. How scary does that make their hand? Burning Tree Emissary, sure. Okay. Yeah? Nice! Opponent misclicked on their own BTE with their Mog Fanatic. Oof. Alright, back to boards. I think we're still in pretty good shape. Like, this Harsh Sustenance looks okay, but I think that most of my deck is just fine. So we're gonna run this back. I do need to be a little more cautious on the draw. Okay. A bunch of dorks into a Lissalana Huntmaster, I accept. Gonna use this Well-Wisher on turn 2, I think, to try to draw out my opponent's removal. Dork. Do you wish to trade your creature? I assure you I have no interest in blocking. Well-Wisher? Elf? Go ahead. I think opponents playing the game right now of how much value can they get with their electricity up. Priest of Titania. Cohort, yep. I will accept 3 damage. Promise. Cat. Huntmaster. We've put opponent back in the position where they're answering us. That's fine. This is all fine. Priest? Timberwatch. There's the Tarfire, sure. Just gonna take the one for Mod Fanatic. Like, I could reasonably trade with this Llanowar Elves, but I don't think that I'm in a position where I need to. Gonna hold on to that, I think. Kind of waiting. Fourth mana, sure. Kicked Bushwhacker. Okay. Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven, 8. Got the Bolt opponent. They don't have the Bolt. Query Ranger. What? Okay, I guess. Cool. Alright. I have no idea why opponent bothered sandbagging that Bolt, but, like, good for them. Well, that puts us 1 and 3. Let's, go into the fray one more time here and see if we can get our pity 50 play points and move along. So, for those of you who follow my channel regularly, stay tuned to my social media over the weekend and Monday. Given that there's a banned and restricted announcement coming on Tuesday for multiple formats, there is a strong likelihood that rather than rush into another stream Tuesday night in what will either be a lame duck format or be the complete wild west if they decide to do everything that day. What I will probably do is hold off until Wednesday and just shift everything back a day next week to try to figure out kind of what the world looks like after this banned and restricted announcement. So stay tuned. Definitely keep an eye on my social media. If you don't follow me on social media, the links are below me right here. On Twitter at Azrael_Chimera. I'm also on Discord at Azrael_Chimera, so if you run into me in any of the various Discords, feel free to yell at me and tell me how bad I am. It's fine. I understand. But yeah, so probably going to move everything back a day from its normal position next week, just to account for ban and restricted announcement. Yeah. So, furthermore, because I don't do this anywhere near probably as often as I'm supposed to streaming, if you like what you see here, and you have Twitch Prime, or if you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime. It means you can sub to me every month for absolutely zero cost to you, on top of what you're already paying for Amazon Prime. So, if you like the content you see here, and you want to see me continue to make more of it, or watch the channel grow a little bit, please feel free to throw me your Bezos bucks. They are greatly appreciated. Furthermore, if you like what you see here and you are newer to the channel and you're like, what else do you do? I have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is linked in my Twitch bio. You can find all of that there. I play mostly Eternal formats, so that means I play Pauper, Legacy, Vintage, and then Cube. I do also have fascination with Highlander formats, not specifically Elder Dragon Highlander, but things like Canadian Highlander or 7-Point Australian Highlander. and maybe at some point on the channel I will find a way to facilitate such things. It has not yet happened, but I'm very interested in doing so. So if you out there in the internet know of a way to play 7-Point or Canadian Highlander on Magic Online and know a community that plays, please feel free to reach out to me either through Twitch Whisper or through Discord or through Twitter. I would be very excited to hear because I do love Highlander formats, and I would absolutely love to play more Highlander and play some on the channel. So that would be great. But also, more importantly, I do appreciate you all coming out this evening. There are plenty of ways you could choose to spend your Thursday evening, but I'm grateful that you choose to spend it with me. For those of you who are familiar with my Magic existence outside of the stream, the YouTube channel, and the things that I do here, I'm currently preparing for a paper full proxy old school event with an unusual rule set. What do I mean by an unusual rule set? Well, this particular rule set, the card channel is unrestricted. So based on the Eternal Central rule set, which means 4 strip mines, all their usual restricted garbage is restricted other than strip mine. However, in this particular event, channel has been unrestricted. The tournament organizer has also decided to legalize a single restricted copy of Mana Crypts. So, we're gonna channel Fireball people with a bunch of busted garbage. If at some point in the not too distant future, you catch me and are curious as to how unrestricted channel Fireball looks in old school featuring one of Mana Crypt, feel free to ask. I will be very glad to let you know. I think it's going to be bad. That hand was also... This hand is also bad. How have we found 2 no-landers in a row? Sweet lord. All were so dead. Gross. Keep. Ship the Timberwatch. Ship a land? Okay. Opponent is probably some sort of flicker garbage. Alright. Essence Warden. Undo that. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Don't ask me these questions. Cast this thing. Always yield to Essence Warden. Attack my opponent for 1. I'm the only one allowed to gain life here, opponent. What are you doing? Next turn feels like pretty easy money. Just fire off this lead, the Stampede. Preordain, yeah. I'm gonna be so mad if I get spell pierced here. No. I will attack. Magic Online. Come on. Land cycles for snow-covered plains. I am fairly convinced opponent is some sort of flicker deck. Opponent is 100% just familiars. Gotta. Alright. Priest. Lead the stampede. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nettle Sentinel. Essence Warden. Alright. Birchfloor. Sentinel. Birchfloor. Querying Ranger. I have vomited a bunch of cards on turn 2. Turn 3. How do you feel about it, opponent? God. Opponent wishes to mill me. Sure. I'm literally just looking for Valakut Invoker. Resolve Valakut Invoker, win target game. Sick. Guess I can start making some attacks. Maybe I can't? I lied. I cannot. Deep analysis is fine. I'm also not really sure how opponent's gonna win. I guess Sage's Route Denizen is how opponent's gonna win. Chancery, okay. Gas? I wish for Elf. Hey, look, we found the thing. Red. All right. Dome you. Yes, I will play this. Activate Birchlow Ranger. Play Elvish Mystic. Well-Wisher. Where'd my Birchlar go? Well-Wisher. Oh, I sequenced this really poorly. Activate Priest of Titania. Activate Valak Invoker, target you. Activate Korean Ranger. Untap Priest. Bounce. You. Activate Birchlow Ranger. Activate Birchlow Ranger. Hello, opponent. I full well intend on activating again in your end step. Twice. Snap targeting. Activate Korean Ranger. Untap you. Bounce this. Activate Birchlow Ranger. You. It's back in my hand. Sure. Their Sage's Denizen hasn't been very good at milling me out. Familiar, yep. Do you have Dignitary? I don't know if you can't even cast Dignitary if you do. Sure. Continue, opponent. Also, does anybody know, is Gaia's Blessing a common? Because boy howdy, let me tell you, Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard, punish this garbage, let's go. Mnemonic Wall, yes. Get back Snap? Sure. Like, explain to me what the end game is here, right? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Get back Wall. Wall. Yeah, I'm just gonna F6. Do your thing. Oh, is this infinite? This does appear to be infinite. Yep, opponent just keeps untapping, does the thing. Because Wall costs them 2 right now. So we're boarding in Harsh Sustenance. That's happening. I'm gonna let opponent use their clock here. I feel like these next 2 games are gonna go a little long. I think the clock's gonna matter. Also, 71 life. Let's go. Dying 2 cards at a time. Gaining 2 life all the way. Excellent. So yeah, Harsh Sustenance comes in for sure. Beyond that, unclear. We're not playing Red Blasts, so that's not a thing I'm particularly worried about. Probably just Harsh Sustenance that I want. Longbow's fine. Can board in Longbow. Yeah, probably board in Longbow and Harsh Sustenance. Because Longbow can also deal damage behind Dignitary Lock. Deal. I'm gonna cut a couple of Well-Wishers. I'm like remotely interested in some of this like enchantment removal because I feel like they're gonna play Journeys and stuff against me. They might play COP green, but like my primary win conditions are other stuff anyway. So I'm just gonna run it like this. I'll make them fight multiple axes. Also, for anyone playing the home game, we're now a 5-color deck. This costs black-white, in our deck playing only basic forests. This is so ridiculous. Yes, please. Keep. I'm gonna jam Elvish Mystic here because I want to jam this Priest of Titania next turn. It's like gonna be the big game. Opponent mulls a 5. Hasn't decided to keep 5 yet. This is so good. Mana dork. Priest. Opponent cycles Ash Barrens. Gets a snow-covered plains. Familiar, yep. Priest. Priest. Dork. Opponent choosing not to float. That's super strange. Okay. Lead the Stampede. Deal. Sure. Familiar, yes. Oracle, sure. Evoked Muldrifter. Now trying to make the choice if I'm going to use this Timberwatch as removal or... Oh, wow, that's hot. Elf. Timberwatch Elf. Dork. 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 One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 12, plus 12. I'm at 3, I'm at 30, you're at 3. Please continue. Opponent is on the Flicker Stonehorn Dignitary until they're not dead plan. Which is reasonable. I just also happen to have outs to it. Evoked Muldrifter. Yep. Ghostly Flicker, target Muldrifter, Stonehorn Dignitary. Feels like that's where we're at. Snap, target Muldrifter. Reasonable enough. Also, good on opponent for stacking their triggers correctly. Also, Muldrifter costs 3. You could probably just cast this thing. Mnemonic Wall, sure. Getting back, negate. I understand. Ephemerate for Dignitary. They have negate for... So you're dead to a naturally drawn Invoker. That is not a naturally drawn Invoker. Flicker Wall, get back, Ephemerate, yep. Evoked Muldrifter. Opponent still has to find a kill condition and attacking for damage is off the table. Especially because they keep evoking these Muldrifters instead of casting them. Wall, get snap. Sure thing. Snap untaps both Chanceries. I guess more importantly, what is snap targeting? And it probably supposed to be Mnemonic Wall? It's Seagate Oracle. Interesting. Okay. It sucks here because I can't technically F6. Because if an opponent decides to get silly, I'm gonna F6. I could feasibly just, like, try to hold it up in case they try to get cheeky and attack. And I could just, like, Timber Watch something straight off the face of the earth. But I think that my clock is more valuable here than my life total right now. Especially because if my opponent does their thing, my life total is going to remain reasonably... Okay, there's Flicker. Flicker gets wall, so they're going to get snap Flicker. Yup. Snap targeted Timberwatch. Okay, hold on. This one. Okay. Have we already reached a loop where they're just gonna flicker my entire board state out of the game? Because that's pretty unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie to you. This one. Now that all the Timberwatch elves try to play, I'm less interested in trying to play games with my opponent. I'm just gonna let them do their thing. Okay. Despara Sentinel. Elf. 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 Okay. Flicker snap. Yup. Opponent is the one obligated to try to kill me right now. And they, given what they're showing me, it will be very difficult to do that. Evoked Mauldrifter. I still can't understand why opponent just keeps evoking these instead of casting them. Okay. Godfrey is faithful, sure. Snap on a Timberwatch, sure. Flicker Wall Oracle. So if anybody here does follow me on Twitter and is curious at why I tweeted at Gavin Verhey about this, this is a conversation that has come up in my personal friend group on several occasions. This is mildly problematic. I personally love the format, and this is difficult to sit through. I can only imagine people who are experiencing the format much earlier, like not just people who are just discovering the format or only have played for a short time, and there's Cannonade, sick. So opponent nuked my board. How many more game actions are you going to take, opponent? I'm down for it. Opponent's currently sitting 5 minutes below me on clock. But, like, if you were a new player just coming to Pauper and came into this, like, this is not exactly an excellent experience. And this is somebody who is, like, a known dedicated control player. Essence Horde. Timberwatch. Ghostly Flicker. Sure. snap plus thing. Sure, sure. Not really sure why opponent didn't grab Cannonade there. Like, I get that they wanted the mana advantage, but, like, getting Cannonade there feels like it would have been very, very good for my opponent. Snapping their God-Pharaoh's Faithful. Okay, so there's Sage's Royal Denizen. That's an actual kill condition that will eventually do something. The Flicker's in their hand. Now is where the looping begins. I have F6. The opponent has 6 minutes on the clock. There's the Invoker. That's unfortunate. Flicker, sure. Look at all this flickering. Look at it. So, again, if you want to see more of my content that is not my opponent just kind of playing with themselves for several minutes, my YouTube channel is linked down below. You are more than welcome to check that out. There's a lot of really cool gameplay content on there, including some really awesome vintage content, some Pauper Leagues I've played before, some legacy content, and some cube runs. So that is all incredibly exciting. Furthermore, if you are interested in seeing more of me live in the future, hopefully not this, feel free to give me a follow. I go live. I'm usually live at least twice a week. Sometimes a little extra depending on what my personal schedule looks like. I also always announce when I'm going live on Twitter, which is linked just below my camera here. So feel free to follow me there as well. If you ever tweet at me, I am a really chill human and will be more than happy to interact with you. So please feel free to follow me on Twitter and yell at me for things as often as you like, because I like the interaction with other people. Yeah, and furthermore, again, stay tuned. The schedule for next week's streams will probably end up a little different than it normally is, as with the BNR coming next week. I am going to kind of keep an eye out and see, like, what things look like, so yeah, for sure. Oh, opponent is done. Okay, they've milled my library. Cool. Well, that was an unfortunate 1-4 and a pretty miserable last round, but again, I am grateful that you all decided to come out tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, stay tuned to Twitter or wherever you find out about my streams from for next week's schedule announcement. Again, it's going to be a little different because of the BNR coming Tuesday. Fingers crossed that all of a sudden some of these formats are in a little better health again, not quite so inbred and hyper-focused on one another. I like it when there's a little more play and a little more openness in a metagame. It's a lot of fun. But that will be it for me for tonight. Thanks for joining, and have a good night, everybody. Cheers!